Yu-Gi-Oh! An incredibly complex card game with tens of thousands of cards. However, what if each set was separated from the rest of the massive card pool and your choices when building a deck were extremely limited? In this series, in order to learn Yu-Gi-Oh! From the ground up, I will be embarking on an adventure through the history of the card game with Jeexx. In each episode, we will have access to all the cards in a select product, and using only the cards in that product, both of us will build a deck before playing a best of 3 match to determine the winner of the episode. We will move in a chronological order in the series, and with each new episode, we will forget the cards of the past in order to experience something brand new. We hope you enjoyed this adventure through Yu-Gi-Oh! And its evolution with us. Welcome to the historic Yu-Gi-Oh! Learning journey. Battles of Legend Light's Revenge was the final set in the Arc 5 era of Yu-Gi-Oh! And was released in July of 2017. The set introduced support for over a dozen different archetypes, and while I could sit here listing them for 2 minutes straight, I'm just gonna pick a few ones and list them. So, for example, it gave the ultimate boss monsters for a bunch of archetypes like DDD, Superheavy Samurai, as well as Raid Raptor, as well as giving archetypal support for other older archetypes as well. Most notably, maybe Gladiator Beast Tamer Editor. Bro, I need to change the format in these again. This talking to myself stuff is not working out for me. It's so awkward for me, man. Guys and gals, welcome to the finale of the Pendulum era. The end of Arc 5 is upon us, and with it, we are today doing Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge. And this has been a long time coming. I am playing Superheavy Samurai. I have wanted to play this for the longest time, but finally, thanks to DJ, honestly, the biggest thing here is that it was just because all of it was kind of drip fed in so many different boosters that it was actually really hard to just get a 50-50 split without being able to play any spell traps in your deck. So finally, thanks to Light's Revenge and our new change with the, obviously, hand trap rule, we can finally do it. Now, I have been building this up for a long time for myself, but I'll be frank, it's old Superheavy Samurai. This is a Duel Monsters era-esque archetype. It's a battle archetype with relatively little protection apart from battle protection, where the swarming is mediocre at best, and the whole gimmick is that you can attack while in face-up defense position. That's it. But regardless, I have wanted to play this for the longest time, and I'm not super interested in the modern Superheavy Samurai stuff, so now when we actually have a chance, let's play some Superheavy Samurai. And let's take a look at the deck and start. Actually, let me start with the non-Superheavy Samurai stuff. So we have triple Ash, pretty self-explanatory, and triple Droll and Lockbird. I was going between Droll and Ghost Ogre for the longest time because obviously, once again, it's Pendulum stuff, but I ended up deciding on Droll and Lockbird in the end because, well, Jeexx proved last time from what he was playing that is actually scary enough that I really want to have the Droll for that. And then for other stuff, we have a very small Time Lord package here. Time Lords are just easy because it's just you get a big, dumb, like, hard to deal with beater that your opponent doesn't really want to use like super weird removal on probably, and it's basically a okay turn to take to just summon a Time Lord, so these function as just by themselves. So that's why we have the Time Lords, and we just have triple Kamion and one Lazion because I deemed them to be the best ones that we have in the set. Both of them can be spell summoned from the deck. If you control no monsters, you can normal summon this card without tributing, and they cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you don't take battle damage from attacks involving this card. And then at the end of the battle phase, Kamion shuffles a card your opponent controls in the deck and burns your opponent for 500. Is spell speed 4, this shuffling. And Lazion, at the end of the battle phase, if this card battle, basically resets Jeexx's graveyard, which obviously if he's on a Pendulum strategy won't really do much, but other than that could be very devastating. And then once per turn, if your opponent draws a card, you burn them for 1,000, and both of them have the effect where once per turn during your standby phase, they get shuffled back into the deck. And then we have Time Maiden to access whatever we need. If you control no monster, you can spell summon this card from your hand. It can be treated as 2 tributes or a tribute summon of Time Lord monster, so you can special this and then tribute a Time Lord over it if need be. Or you can tribute it on the board to add a Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck to your hand, which obviously then means that we special it, we get the search, and then we get to normal the Time Lord. And then you can banish this card from your graveyard to spell summon Time Lord monster with 0 attack from your deck, ignoring the summoning conditions, but you cannot spell summon other monster during to activate this effect. It fixes a lot of things for the Time Lord archetype. It just does so much. So it's just there as a consistency boost. Then we had Denko Sekka. Cannot be special summoned, and while you control no set spell traps, neither play against set spell traps nor activate spell trap cards that are set on the field. We don't play back row, and this is a good enough card to play from the main set. There it is. And then for this set, the only super heavy samurai stuff that we actually have is Fist and Helper. And the super heavy samurai basically categorized in 3. You have the basic, I'm just gonna call them their like usual monsters. Then you have their tuners, and then you have their it's gonna be the super heavy samurai like equips essentially. And this is not exactly an equip, but it's, I would put it in the category. Like all of them have equip effects, and then they have hand effects. But Helper only has a hand effect. We'll actually start with Helper since I'm here now. During damage, calculate if your defense position monster battles an opponent monster while you have no spell drops in your graveyard. You can, as a quick effect, discard this to target super heavy samurai you control, other than the battling monster, and the battling monster gets defense equal to that monster's defense during that damage calculation only. So you need to have 2 super heavies on the board. And then when your opponent declares a direct attack, you can banish this from your graveyard, target a super heavy samurai monster in your grave, and special summon it. It's not great, because you need obviously 2 super heavy samurais to do anything with it, and this only protects you from after your opponent direct attacks. So this is something that will probably bump down to probably 1, maybe even 0 for games 2 and 3, depending on how things go. But we're obviously super starved for space, because we need stuff from the set, so that's why we're playing it as a 3. Kind of the same thing with Fist. I think Fist might be a 2 off after siding, but Fist, during a battle phase, if your super heavy samurai monster destroyed an opponent's monster by battle this battle phase, you can, as a quick effect, synchro summon a synchro monster using materials you control, including Fist. And if you have no spells or traps, this second one is the more important one. If you have no spells or traps in your graveyard, you can target a super heavy samurai synchro monster you control, reduce the level by 1, and special summon this card from your graveyard. And you cannot special summon a monster for the rest of the turn, except super heavy samurais. But basically, you get to, essentially for the synchro summon, you get to get a glow up bulb from your grave back. It's good for the graveyard recursion effect. The first one, obviously, needing you to destroy your opponent's battle is kinda whatever, but it's a recurring tuner that doesn't get banished when he uses this thing, which makes it pretty good. And I will already cover like most of the stuff in our side deck is just extra copies of thing, with the exception of having a one-off Soul Peacemaker, and then the Pendulum monsters as well as 3 copies of Giga Gloves. I'll cover Giga Gloves later, but most of these stuff is stuff that we will basically automatically side in for games 2 and 3. We'll get rid of the Time Lord package, we'll get rid of the Denko Sekkas, and X amount of these cards to side in probably like 11 to 15 cards, depending on what happens, but almost all of our side deck will make an appearance for games 2 and 3. Just letting you know. And that's why some of the ratios here are weird, because we want to be playing 3 of Trumpeteer and 3 of Battle Ball. And 2 Benkei is fine, preferably 3, but like 3 Soulfire Suit for sure. So that's why, that's kind of me covering the side deck already. But for the rest of our tuners, we have a Trumpeteer. If you have no spell traps in your grave, you can spell summon this card from your hand. Obviously very good. After this card was spell summoned this way, you can only summon you can only special summon Super Heavy Samurai monster for the rest of the turn. And if this card is tributed for the tribute summon of a Super Heavy Samurai monster inside the graveyard, and you have no spell traps in your grave, you can special summon this card. It works as a like free tribute fodder. It works as a just a free level 2 tuner we can summon. It's really good because it's just always basically a free summon. And then Battle Ball is very interesting. So if all monsters you control are Super Heavy Samurai monsters and you have no spell drops in your grave, you can target a face monster your opponent controls that has a level, and you send Battle Ball and the opponent's monster to the graveyard, and then spell summon a Super Heavy Samurai Synchro monster from your deck using those two basically as the Synchro material. So Battle Ball lets you... That's a first. I'll be right back. All right, and it let us immediately get back in. I don't know what happened there. I don't remember us having connection loss before, which is pretty interesting. But Battle Ball basically lets you synchro summon using your opponent's monsters. More often than not, obviously, it's just going to be a 4, but even a 4 and a Battle Ball gets a shoot and dodge, which is really good to get on the board. So Battle Ball really neat for that. Big Benkei is... I think the original Super Heavy Samurai, it's absolutely fucking massive at 3500 defense. When it's normal or special summon, you can change his battle position, and it just basically gives you Super Heavy Samurai monster you can just get that attack while in face defense position if they do apply their defense for damage calculation. Mostly, we don't care about this thing. We care about the fact that we can summon out a 35 beater with a couple of our cards that will cover like pretty easily. So Big Benkei is there mostly for that, because obviously it's so big. It's level 8, I think. Yeah, it's level 8. So the only like synchro plays we can actually even make with it are QB is level 9, right? Yeah, QB is level 9. So obviously QB if we use something like Fist later on, but mostly it's there for Susanova or maybe Train King. Actually, no, yeah, Train King needs to. Yeah, it's mostly there for Susanova. But Susanova one of the better ones anyway, so that's pretty good. But it's mostly there just to be a big dumb beater. Then we have Flutist. You can tribute this card to spell some Super Heavy Samurai monster from your hand. This is the most likely way that you'll get Benkei on board. And during either player's turn when a card effect is active target Super Heavy Samurai monster you control, you can banish this card from your graveyard, negate the activation, and destroy the card. This is really important because we have a lot of ways with the hand stuff and the equips to manipulate like battle phase stuff, but actually giving you like protection from targeting. Obviously it needs to be targeted, which is kind of unfortunate, but still like giving destruction protection with Flutist as well as giving us just a free summon of something like Benkei is obviously really good. Another card that's really good is Super Heavy Samurai Scales. If your opponent controls your monster and you control no monsters, you can spell summon those from your hand. And if it's normal special summon, you can target a level 4 or lower Super Heavy Samurai monster from your graveyard and special summon it in defense position. Get to say tuner usually, and then we can just make a synchro play. Very good. Magnet, kind of same thing. Therefore, extension, when it's normal summon, you can spell summon a level 4 lower Super Samurai monster from your hand and then change this to defense position. And it's the only one they can target for attacks. If you have 2 of them, you create one of those, like Marauding Captain Locks. And the neat thing about both of these are, like, both of them just trigger on, Scales triggers on spell summon anyway, so if you summon Magnet and you spell summon Scales with that, then you get to also recur something, and that is how we're most likely going to get to our like super big stuff, and like without that it's going to be really hard to get extension for something like Train King. Then we have a big Waraji. It's basically just a free summon. You can spell summon this card from your hand if you have no spell traps in your grave, and after discover spell summon this way you cannot spell summon monster for the rest of the term except for Super Heavy Samurais, and it can be treated as a true tribute for a tribute summon of machine type monster. So we can use this to go into Big Benkei, but mostly it's just a free level 5 on board, which is obviously really good for synchro plays. Then for the stuff that we're immediately playing, in the equips, we have Super Heavy Samurai Let me try that again. Super Heavy Samurai Soul Piercer. That's a mouthful. And like I said, it's an equip. As an equip, it gives you piercing. Doesn't matter. What actually matters if this guy is something the field or graveyard, you can add any Super Heavy Samurai monster from your deck to your hand except Piercer. This is our searcher, and obviously like equipping this on a tuner before we make a synchro play, then gets it in the graveyard, and then we have to search with it, which is how we're most likely going to use it. Then we have Soulfire Suit. We will side into the 2 other ones. This is the next best one that we have. You can target a Super Heavy Samurai monster you control, equip this to that monster, it becomes a level 5. Obviously helps modulate our levels for synchro plays. And then the hand effect for this one is really good. During either play stage, you can discard this card to target the defense position Super Heavy Sam. And until the end of turn, it loses 8 times defense, but cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects. Like I said earlier, we have like a decent bit of like way to not die in battle, but the like destruction effects are harder to circumvent, and this obviously doesn't even care about targeting, it just protects it. Obviously if there's banishing, then we can't really do much about that, but it's still like there as a nice bit of protection. And finally we have Superheavy Samurai Soul Buster Gauntlet. Gives it 400 defense as an equip, but the important part here, once again, during either player's damage step, when the defense position Superheavy Samurai monster, you can balance an opponent monster and you have no spell trap in your game, you can send this from your hand to your graveyard. Your battle monster's defense becomes double its original defense until the end of this turn. So this is obviously it's just for battle, but like being able to double something like Benkei is insane. Like it becomes absolutely massive at 7k, so that's why we're playing Soulbuster Gauntlet mostly. Then for the rest of the side, obviously, like I said, we have mostly just extra copies, but we do also have another soul item, which basically just another of these equips. Soul Peacemaker as an equip. Monster your opponent controls cannot attack monsters you control except the equipped monster, and then you contribute a monster equipped with this special summon a super heavy samurai monster from your deck. Obviously the deck part is really good. Mostly it's a one-off because it's like it's not great, but being able to equip something like this and a soul peacemaker to something to get a special summon from deck and a search from deck is actually pretty nice. The them being able to only attack one is like, okay, if we have a really big like synchro, that's nice, but I'd rather have something that helps us get to those synchros easier. Then for our pendulums, we are playing 2 of General Coral and 2 of General Jade. Both of them are pendulum monsters. They give us scales from 1 and 8, and General Coral, the pendulum effect, while you have a spell trap in your graveyard, this card's pendulum scale becomes 4. Doesn't matter, we are not playing any. But once per turn, when a super samurai monster you control destroys an opponent monster by battle, the monster can attack again in a row. And then the monster effect, if you have no spell traps in your grave, you contribute up to 2 super samurai monsters to draw that many cards. And obviously this can be one of those, which is neat, but mostly we're using these both for the pendulum effects. Jade's, I don't even actually remember what. You contribute summon this card by attributing 1 super samurai monster. When this card is normal spell summon, you can change battle position. This card can attack. Well, okay, yeah. I was like, I don't even remember what the monster effect of this thing is. For a reason, it's bad. The important part here, you can pendulum summon monster except super heavy Sams. This effect cannot be negated, and once per turn you can target a super samurai monster you control increase level by 1, even if this card leaves the field. Gives us the 1 scale and it lets us modulate levels, which is actually really nice. And then finally we have Giga Gloves at 3 copies. If this card is sent to a graveyard and you have no spell traps in your graveyard, you can look at the top 5 of your deck and place them to the top of your deck in any order. And then when your opponent's monster declares a direct attack, when this is in your graveyard, you can banish this and extra top card of your deck. If it's a super heavy samurai, you add it to your hand and the attacking monster's attack becomes 0. Otherwise, you send it to the grave. We don't obviously want to have this while we have our Time Lords and Deco Sekas, but even after that, like, it's not great. Obviously, the protection it's okay, but mostly this is here to fix your hand and let you know, not fix your hand, fix your like draws, and you know what you're drawing afterwards. But this is really nice if we have like Sekka Slide, for example, because you can decide what you're drawing, but we don't really have like reliable draws and reliable ways to actually get that stuff. So it's like, all right, now we know for the next 5 turns what we're getting, and obviously we get to set those up in a way that we are drawing favorably, but I don't know if that's enough. This is basically this is in the side deck because I want to first know like how fast of a deck is Jeexx on, because obviously this deck's power level is very low, and if Jeexx on a really fast deck, I don't think Giga Gloves is going to do anything. Well, I mean, I'll be honest, at that point I don't think anything's going to do anything because we're in Super Heavy Samurai, but you know. Speaking of slow, it's been 17 minutes for my deck breakdown already, so let me pick up the pace when we go through the extra deck. But all of our stuff in the extra deck, I will say in advance, all of that has the Benkei stuff. Well, all of these can attack while in face-up defense position. I don't need to cover that. We do have external, obviously doesn't have it. We've covered this multiple times. It's there as a field nuke if we need it. But let me start from the lowest one. We have a level 6 Shoot and Doji, 2500 defense. It takes machine type tuner and one or more non-tuner super heavy samurais. And oh yeah, all of these have also this like if they attack while in face of defense position, you apply the defense for damage calculation. but I'll cover the other effects. Shooting Doji, when it's Synchro summoned while you have no spell traps in your grave, you can basically just feather dust your opponent. Then we have a never. Level 7 Stealth Ninja, once again, same thing. But it doesn't need a super heavy samurai, it just needs a machine type non-tuner. And this card, you can use this effect where as long as you have no spell trap in your graveyard, you can have this card's original defense until the end of the turn. This card can then attack your opponent directly this turn, and once per turn doing this next time, after this card was destroyed by a card effect and sent to graveyard, you can special this back. It's you can infinitely recur it very slowly and poke your opponent for 1400 direct. We're playing this because it's a 7, it helps us climb. Because obviously, Waraji is a free summon, and then any of our tuners, that makes a 7. That's why we're playing this. It's very bad. Then we have Sarutobi. Sarutobi is in level 8. Same condition as Shooting Doji to summon. And once per turn during either player's turn, if you have no spell traps in your grave, you can target a spell trap on the field, pop it, and burn your opponent for 500. Also 2800 defense as well. Same thing as Stealth Ninja. Then we have 9 is Cupid. These are big beater. 2500 defense baseline, but if you have no spell traps in your grave, this card gains a 900 defense for each spell summon monster your opponent controls. If Jeexx goes really wild with a Pendulum summon, this thing cannot be beat over at that point. And if we have some protection for it like Soulfire Suit, it's gonna hit really hard. But it's only that, it's just a big dumb beater. Sudano probably the best one, but the issue is that it relies on we're reliant on what sort of back row Jeexx is playing. It's a level 10. Once again, same condition to summon it. 3800 defense, absolutely massive. And once per turn during either player's turn, if you have no spell traps in your graveyard, you can target a spell trap in your opponent's graveyard, send it to your side of the field, and banish it when it leaves the field. This is very defining because obviously we can't play, if we want the archetype to function, we can't play back row ourselves. So we're just taking our opponent's back row and then banishing it afterwards. But like I said, reliant on what Jeexx has. And then the big dumb fuck boss monster, level 12 Super Heavy Samurai Steam Train King. Takes 2 plus non-tuner Super Heavy Samurai monsters this time. 4800 defense. And once per turn, you can discard up to 2 cards, then target that many cards your opponent controls and destroy them. And once per turn, you can banish all spells and traps from all of the graveyards and burn your opponent for 200 for each banished. Obviously, the discarding to pop is a lot more relevant. And it's just a big dumb beater, but getting to this is basically magical fairyland. If Jeexx gets to a level 10, and we can actually, yeah, we can't even summon this with Battle Ball because you would need 2 monsters, so we can't even summon it with Battle Ball. So basically, the only real way is to summon this with something like double Big Waraji and then a Trumpeteer. But that's why we're only running 1. The likelihood of getting to this, very low. And it's not exactly that we have all the draw power to complement the discards either. But yeah, that was a 21 minute deck breakdown. I am so sorry. I think that's the longest I've had ever. I wouldn't be surprised. But honestly, I'm kind of glad because if I get my ass beat, which is very likely, because we are playing Super Heavy Samurai, at least I got to talk about what could happen if we were playing Playground Yu-Gi-Oh! This is where I'll put a clip when we play the games, if Jeexx summons 2 Zarks, then the clip will be here with a Seinfeld music playing or something. But no. Thank you for watching for the deck breakdown. Hopefully you enjoy Jeexx as well. Thank you for sticking with us throughout Arc 5. And I'm very happy to go into the linker and get to Master Rule 4. So finally, we don't have to deal with infinite swarming with Pendulum summoning. I hate Pendulum summoning. It should be clear at this point. So I say good riddance. It had its moments though. But regardless, thank you for watching the deck breakdown. I'm not going to keep you here any longer. Enjoy Jeexx as well. And afterwards, we'll see you in the dueling zone. See you there.
Okay, so we're playing Battles of Legend, Light's Revenge. And as you can see, we're back again. We're back on that Zark grind. We're trying our damnedest to play Zark. We've only managed to summon it once because we keep winning before we can summon it. I think that speaks volumes for the actual actual quality of the deck, where it can't execute its like executive function, but it's managing to still win because the cards themselves are just so fucking broken. But yeah, we have Witch of the Black Forest here. It's largely here just for the word black in it, because of the fact that we get next to Black Rose Dragon, Black Garden, Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, and there was one more, but I miss. No, that's all. Actually, we get Black Fang Magician technically from it too, but we get that from Magician. Then we have Effect Veiler, we have Ghost Ogre. The reason why we have Effect Veiler instead of like Ash Blossom, and why we have Ghost Ogre instead of Ash Blossom, is because Ghost Ogre can deal with anything that happens to be lingering on board. So for example, Weebfox found a way to play Fiendish Chain in this. We can use actually no, not Fiendish Chain. Fine, any kind of like actual continuous spell or trap that activates on the board, or field spell. Ghost Ogre deals with that, and Effect Veiler deals pretty well with a lot of other stuff. So, and also we have access to Sage with the Eyes of Blue to search for Effect Veiler in Game 2, for example. And we have Formula Synchro to actually take advantage of both of these cards as level 1 tuners. And then we have Lightsworn Summoner, Lumina, and we have Lila, we have Felis, we have Raiden. I'm not going to explain what these cards do. We've already discussed each of them to death. Sage with the Eyes of Blue, I think, has only been mentioned once. It has the effect of, on a normal summon, searching a level 1 light tuner from your deck to your hand. And you can discard this card, then target one effect monster in your you control, and send it to the graveyard. And if you do, special summon Blue Eyes monster from your deck. Can I use that effect? It's here just for the normal summon effect. Then we have Perform Pal Odd Eyes Synchron, which has the effect of you can target one Perform Pal or Odd Eyes monster you control. This turn, that face-up monster is treated as a level 1 tuner. This is a pretty good effect, even if this card leaves the field. If this card is spell summoned, from your extra deck, use the Synchro material banishing. When this card is normal summoned, you can target one level 3 or lower Perform Pal or Odd Eyes monster in graveyard and spell summon it, but it has its effects negated. Once per turn, you can target one card in your Pendulum zone and spell summon it, but it has its effects negated, if any, and if you do, immediately after this effect resolves, Synchro summon one Synchro monster using only that monster and this monster. So this thing is pretty much what we're going to be using in conjunction with Monkey Board to be making Omegas, because this card is a single card Omega, and it also is essentially a single card level 5, but it can be used with conjunction to, like, we can use this to summon out a level 3 Perform Pal monster. So in this case, it would be usually Unicorn, for example. Obviously, we're not going to be doing it in this case that much, but if you happen to have more Perform Pal monsters, you could use this to fill out and blah, 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 blah. A lot of synchro plays, essentially. This card is like one of the best Performer Pal cards in my mind, simply because the fact that it enables you to spam out such strong synchros so easily. Like, level 8 synchros are pretty definitively the best synchros, right? There's so many cards in that range that are just broken, that have been limited for years, and that at this era of the game were just out of control entirely. We also have access to Raiden with a lot of level 4s to access more Omegas using Raiden, or even like normal summoning something like Ghost Ogre, and then having access to a level 1 or even a level 4 to make a 7. And we have Trishan here for a level 9 in case we happen to have enough for that. But then we have Filler, Perform Power 5 Rainbow Magician. This card has no relevant effects, really. It can summon itself in the graveyard if you set a spell trap card. It can set itself into Pendulum Zone if you set a spell trap. Then Astrograph. We talked about Astrograph last time. This card is one of the strongest cards I think that they have ever printed, solely due to the fact that it has nigh infinite recursion because of the fact that they didn't put a limitation on this card. Limitations do not exist in this card, for this card. Odd Eyes Unicorn is just a scale 8 Perform Pal Odd Eyes monster, so it's easy to get. The effects that it has are pretty much irrelevant. Monkey Board, we talked about Monkey Board before. Pendulum Sorcerer, we talked about this card before. We talked about Skull Crobat, Harmonizing, and all of the other magicians that we are playing this time around. Then we have Terraforming and Black Garden. Terraforming and Black Garden I added at the right before the match itself, because I was like, I kind of wanted to just originally run 0 spells or traps, because I think that was cool. That was a cool idea to have a Pendulum deck go off on a bang without running any possible like spells or traps. But I wanted to play Black Garden solely because I was like, this is going to be one of the final times where Black Garden is ever going to actually feel like a genuine hindrance to your opponent. The attack reduction is still gonna be there, but from here on out, every token you give your opponent is just a card for them to use to link off. And that's just not good. That's not worth it at all. So yeah. Then we have D-Barrier to prevent summonings of Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, XYZ, or Pendulum monsters. Wahoo! Or negating their effects or activated effects. Then we have Harmonizing Magician, the third copy, Pendulum Sorcerer, second copy, Timebreaker Magician, so that I have a level 3 that I can use with Harmonizing Magician next in game 2 for like Black Rose plays or Black Rose Moonlight plays. And then we have Double Iris, second copy. We were not playing 3 copies of Double Iris solely because of the fact that we can't add Pendulum Graphs. We do not have access to Pendulum Graphs. And then we have Wisdom Eye as a kind of pseudo second or third or fourth copy of any of the other Pendulum Magicians that exist in the deck so far. Then we have Chronograph, because Chronograph could be fairly useful for game 2, for example, for extending, spell summoning it to summon out like Felis, or summoning out a Effect Veiler, or really any card that has like any utility with making this into either a level 8 or a level 7 Synchro. So yeah. And then we have 2 more copies of Black Garden, Formula Synchron, Moonlight, Time Star, Terraforming. Omega, we talked about Omega before, banishes a random card from opponent hand. Trish, banish non-targeting, 1 card from board, 1 card from grave, 1 card from hand. Really good card, really scary, really strong card. Minerva, we haven't actually had Minerva show up yet, I think. You can attach 1 material, send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, then draw cards equal to the number of Lightsworn cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. And if this card is destroyed by battle, or if this card in its own dispossession is destroyed by your opponent's card effect, you can sorry, I lost my place. You can send the top 3 cards of your deck to the graveyard, and you can destroy cards on the field of the number of Lightsworn cards sent to the graveyard by this effect. Sometimes I hate accidentally scrolling while I'm reading. And then we have Archfiend Zombie Skull to give us Archfiends, and then we have Doom King Bright Armageddon to give us access to King cards, and thus we get access to Supreme King Zark. And that is about it. The way that we get access to a lot of the other stuff, like for example, how we get access to Astrograph and Chronograph, you might be wondering, is through Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon, which is a Synchro Dragon card, and these cards support the Synchro Dragon archetype, which means that they are in the Synchro Dragon archetype, so we can play both of them in this set because of Crystal Wing Synchro Dragon. That's going to be a problem in the future, so we'll see what Weebfox figures out for that. Then... Oh. No. I don't think I have anything else to say about this set. I'm gonna be playing Zark again, as you can tell. Zark is all I'm gonna be playing, hopefully. So good luck with the games. So we're playing an extra game for our Battles of Legends Light Revenge, the last set of the Pendulum era. We're gonna be playing Lightsworn as my extra deck here, with obviously largely just basic Lightsworn stuff, Treasure Brigade, 3 copies, Dark Hole, Soul Recharge, Different Dimension Ground, just in case my opponent happens to be playing something that I don't want to hit the graveyard. And then we have Astrograph, Sorcerer, as like the weird thing here. It's here because it can just be splashed into literally anything that exists. This card allows me to, for example, after Raigo dies, I can use this thing to summon it, to summon this guy and fetch another copy of Raigo to my hand, and now I have another non-targeting middle 3 pop for next turn. Or I can use it to recur, for example, a copy of Judgment Dragon if it gets killed, which makes it really easy to get Judgment Dragon out again, or Lumina even, or Lila. Really anything. Anything that I have in this deck can be super easily recurred using Astrograph, and that's, I think, really, really strong. Then we have 3 copies of the D-Barrier on the side, doesn't matter. Like, this is going to be a best of 1, so... And then we have Brio, Clearwing, Michael, Omega, we have Trish, we have Exiton, we have Minerva, we have Super Doom King Dark Armageddon, so that we get access to the Dark Holes that are in here. But yeah, that is about it. There's not really much to say about this deck. It's Lightsworn. Good luck with the games.
What is up, guys and guys? Ladies and lads.
Guys and gals.
That's for my deck breakdowns. This is the ladies and lads.
Non-binary pals. It's Pride Month,
Happy
buddy. You
Pride Month, everybody. We're here in the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. Don't condone. That's the wrong thing.
Discrimination.
Yeah, actually, wait, that's a good save. I was gonna say, don't condone. I'm not gonna finish the sentence, you know. On second thought, I'm just gonna say Happy Pride, everybody.
Yeah.
And
we do not discriminate here unless you enjoy hat
unless
format.
you enjoy hat format or
Gen 2 or Gen 1
or play Noble Knights.
See, Noble Knight players,
Are gay.
they're a minority. I
And
mean,
this is the
yeah.
one. This is the one. Actually, you know what? On that note, this is the 1 month where actually Noble Knight
That should be
players are
okay.
cool.
That
But
sounds
the
bad.
1st of July,
sounds bad.
I'll be back. I'll be back. So take this 1 month, Noble Knight players.
This is
that
the
you have.
worst intro I think
This
we've ever
is
had.
by far the worst intro. I was like, in my mind, I had
I
like, you know
tried
what?
saving it.
You ain't saving shit, brother. But I was thinking when we're going into this that it's been, I feel like a little while since the last time when you've had one of your like pun intros, and I was like, all right, we need to set the floor so you can do that this time. And instead, it turned into Happy Pride, but also we're profiling people. But
Guy story. I'm a Noble Knight player.
yeah, he's an ally. I'm an enemy, but I will be an ally for this 1 month. But come July 1st, y'all are cooked. Anyways, we're doing Battles of Legend Light's Revenge today. It is the final Pendulum set. Not really a Pendulum set, but it is the final time we're doing a Pendulum format episode. And next time we will be moving on to Master Rule 4 and introducing Link Summoning into the game. So pretty exciting stuff, if you ask me, because well, we all know what I think of this format.
It's a banger format. Everybody loves him.
Yeah,
Myself included, guys. Yeah. I love this format, guys. Come on, you know me.
Anyways, my hand is doo-doo butt, so that's pretty awesome and swag.
It's okay. I have the one card in here that I think will see its last time of play today. We're giving a send-off to the Pendulum era. We're also gonna give a send-off to this one card.
It's really funny you say that, because you were talking about a specific play before we started, and it happens to be basically the only thing I can do. So for my turn, I will normal summon Denko Sekka and pass my turn back to you.
Alrighty then, chat room. Start my turn. Go stand by main. I would like to normal summon a Black Fang Magician and ram it into this motherfucker.
That's fair. Denko
And
goes
then-
down and Fang goes to the thingamajiggy.
The thingamajiggy. Thank you. And then I would like to special summon from my hand Astrograph Sorcerer.
Yeah, I see. And
Yeah.
then
So
you would like
just-
to...
I would like to add to my hand Black Fang Magician from my deck. Which I'm pretty sure I should have a second copy of, because this is one of the ones that I did want to play a second copy of. But where is it? There it is. Yeah. So Astrograph Sorcerer is a card that has the effect of you can use one of each to summon Zark. You can use a Pendulum Dragon, XYZ Dragon, a Synchro Dragon, a Fusion Dragon, meaning that Astrograph Sorcerer is a part of the archetypes Pendulum, XYZ, Synchro, and Fusion, because it supports cards with these in its name. This set happens to have a card with Synchro in its name. Thus, we have Astrograph Sorcerer. Yippee!
Yay.
Yay! We love Astrograph!
Yeah, there's no we in this. I can be an ally for this 1 month, but this is where I draw the line. Gay people, cool with me. Astrograph Sorcerer, I draw the line there.
That's kind of fucked up, bro. That's I don't.
Oh,
know,
fucked
man.
up that I think gay people are cool. Okay, all right. I see how it is. Well,
Huh?
let it be known.
Nobody said anything about
I do
that.
not stand with this statement, especially during Pride Month. Kinda. Not
And
cool.
then and I would like to activate a Black Garden. Have fun. So what card
So-
are we gonna be saying goodbye to
So
today?
this is the kind of that we're playing. I see.
Oh, you wanna swing over my Astrograph Sorcerer?
Oh, swing over it. No,
I'll
I'm...
kill it with something else. Oh my god!
kill-
I'm
no,
gonna get
no.
another Astrograph.
Nah, we're
Banish it?
chilling here.
Oh.
In fact, I would like
Oh,
to...
actually, can I swing with it before we go further? Like, yeah, my bad.
All
That was
these
why I was summoning it.
sexies backsies every time.
I mean, a little proactive with Droll and Lockbird without saying anything, and it's just like, yeah, man, I can't believe this guy's saying that he swung with the card
I
that he
didn't
was
want
supposed to
to
swing.
interrupt you when you were having your monologue, man.
But
Anyways, unfortunately not the one that does much here, but I will still normal summon a Lazion. And then dooba-dee-ba-da-ba-da, you get your token.
yep.
And then their swing
Sometime.
obviously doesn't matter. I don't need to be a swing because there is nothing in your grave worth swinging over. We will simply go into end the end phase.
Alrighty
And then in
so-
your draw you take 1,000 burn.
let me double check what it's saying. 1,000 burn, doing your standby official, this one. Yep, that's fine.
Yeah, my standby phase, it goes back to the deck.
Yep. Okay, so let us set some scales, I guess. Is that worth it? Does that do anything for me? Kinda doesn't here. There's two halves to this deck right now because I needed to run a second half because I couldn't fit the actual shit into this otherwise. So right now I'm looking at my hand thinking like there is some stuff in here that I can definitely do that will benefit me, but at the same time, it's a pain in the ass, brother. That goes to the. I need to discard for that. It doesn't help. It's gonna be targeted, right? No, it can't.
You can't be targeted, it just can't be destroyed by Valor card effects. But you can target it if you would like.
These are level 2s, these tokens? Yeah, they're level 2s. Oh. Okay. This is... I'm playing a card called Odd Eye Synchron in my deck, right? It has a really good effect. Like, legitimately, it has one of the best supporting synchro effects in probably the entirety of, like, Odd Eyes and Performance Pal. But it specifically lists that you need to use just the 2 monsters. Because,
Oh yeah, itself and then the
reveal.
other one.
Yeah, itself and the one that you summon. Because in this case, this would be a really good turn if I could just use the 2 cards, right? That would be like sick, actually sick. But it does not work. Wait. Honestly? Honestly.
Oh ho! What do you think is the gayest archetype in Yu-Gi-Oh?
I'm pretty sure it's the ones that are openly gay. You know, those ones, the ones that expressly have lesbians in them. You know,
The evil twins?
the evil twins, the evil star. Yeah, those ones.
My answer would have just been anything from Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, but
Oh, that's kind of harsh. I'll be honest.
I think it's pretty funny, you know, to say that, like, yeah.
Yeah. Sure, buddy.
Anyways,
yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I'm just gonna pass here.
Okay.
I don't have any reason to try to forward the game state right now.
I draw and standby, and this thing gets shuffled back.
Yeah.
Then we can start saying slurs. God, this card is a dipshit.
What the hell?
Nothing else. I'm just thinking out out loud. Anyways, sure. I will special summon from my hand a Time Maiden. You get to have another token.
Another one.
Yep. Then I will attempt to activate the effect to add a Time Lord with 0 attack from my deck to my hand.
Yep.
And we will go for I'm kind of between yeah, no, we'll go for Camion.
Camion?
Good. Yes.
I see.
And then I would like to normal summon Camion the Time Lord. You get another token.
Yep.
Then Battle Phase to swing into Astrograph.
Yep. Astrograph dies, and Astrograph goes to the extra deck.
Wait, why does it die?
Because it doesn't get swung over. Oh, it doesn't
There's
get
a 0.
swung over.
Yeah, no, it just...
I thought it just gained attack. But
yeah, no, then at the end of the battle phase, I would like to shuffle Astrograph back into the deck, and you will take 5 hundo. And this is spell speed 4. But I don't think any of the Time Lords like really do battle damage. It's all just different ways to burn the opponent. I don't think... Actually, there might be some destruction stuff. Anyways, you take 500 also. And then we go main 2, and I will just end my turn there.
Alrighty then, chat room. Stand by, mate. I have on my board
2400 points of planned damage.
2400. And I also have on my board 3 level 2s. I would like to activate. Wait, do I even do that yet? Wait. Do I just do this here?
The world is your oyster, my man.
I mean, normal summon Ghost Ogre. I would like to synchro off Ghost Ogre.
Let me
and
give
the
my
tokens.
Token.
Yeah. I would like to summon out Trishula.
Yep, I will get
Dragon dice.
another token.
And I would like to banish this. I would like to banish this. And I would like
Let
to
me
banish
shuffle my hand.
this.
Sure. And Trish goes to what, 1350? Yeah.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. And then I would like to set scales. And then I would like to declare Pendulum Summon.
Go for it.
Summon out Black Fang Magician. Summon out Odd Eye Synchron. Summon out a... This is 6, right? Yeah, that's 6, so it doesn't do anything for me there. That's...
I mean, this is
7,
just gonna fill my board, right? Actually, wait, how do Pendulum Summons... Is it just...
It's a single instance of
Yeah, because that's what I was thinking, yeah. So I don't need this. But all of your stuff still gets halved, right? Yeah.
Correct.
I mean, it's just for the attack, so...
Yeah, that is correct. And then I would like to also summon out a... Six.
I wish they had other tokens than just the blue one. The orange scapegoat token is my favorite.
I mean, wait, don't they? They do have them. Yeah, if you just hold on the token button, you can pick your different tokens.
Yippee!
Bro, didn't even know.
I want a few different ones. Give me... Also like this guy. There we go.
I mean... Pocket, just summon Lumina and some Nadice. Unicorn as well, yeah.
We'll have a whopping 50 attack, which is really... Is there actually a monster with like under 100 attack? by default. I
No.
don't think so, right?
No.
Yeah.
From pretty sure from memory there shouldn't be.
Yeah. Because I'm thinking like some like rebirth cards that have like 50s or 30s or 80s, but like I don't think there's anything that's just like below 100 unless it's 0, obviously.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure.
I wish
No.
Yeah, I wish I could also do this to speed up the process.
This one doesn't matter here.
Yeah.
I would like to activate the effect of Purple Poison Magician to destroy it and give my Black Fang Magician 1,200 attack.
Yep.
Yep, and then I would like to destroy a card on the field. I would like to destroy... Actually, I should probably not summon the fucking Odd Eyes Unicorn, whatever. I would like to destroy...
Oh, the 50s cracking me up.
Yeah. I mean, these things are big, too. Like, these are huge-ass tokens.
Yeah, a big 800.
Huge 800. Okay, fucking hell, bro. Can't get that out. Can't get any of these.
I was gonna say, like, I think, like, without Black Garden, I would die this turn, but at the same time, I don't think without Black Garden we would be in this scenario.
Yeah, I would like to just pop on the tokens. Yep.
Yeah.
And then I would like to synchro off my Odd Eyes, Performapal Synchron, Performapal Odd Eyes Synchron, and my Odd Eyes Unicorn, and my Lightsworn Summoner Lumina.
For a 6, right? Yeah.
For a 6. In this case, it's gonna be this guy.
Yep. I will grab another token.
token. Oh, that's not... What the hell just happened?
I mean, you could just beat over all of them, but you know. And when I discovered that I can have these guys, let me have these guys.
Then I will just swing over these for...
Yep, that's
350.
350.
Yeah. And 550.
550. And then 1250.
1250, yeah. And then I think I just have to pass.
Alright, one draw to rule them all. And that's not gonna do it.
Hell yeah.
Alright, I have some deciding to do, so we will take a small intermission and we'll return shortly. Alright, and we are back. I'm also realizing that, like... I was genuinely like wondering that maybe I should have gone second instead in the previous one, but I don't think it really mattered.
No, I would argue that did not. No, because it didn't seem to have an impact.
But you know what?
I mean, you're playing board breakers.
The Pendulum era. The final episode. I'm gonna do a first in this series. I'm gonna like to go second.
Wow. I don't think this is the first. I'm pretty sure one of us went first during Jeexx.
I guess that would make sense, yeah.
Yeah, with Cyber Dragons. First and foremost, I would like to activate Performapal Monkey Board.
Go for the monkey.
I would like to activate Monkey Board. Is this okay?
Yep, you're good to go.
Okay. I would like to add to my hand
Skullcrobat?
Skullcrobat Joker. I would like to normal summon Skullcrobat Joker to activate the Skullcrobat Joker.
Joker is fine.
Joker is fine. I would like to add to my hand a Performapal or a Magician or Odd Eyes card. I would like to add what to say? This is Performapal. It has to be Performapal. That isn't the other one. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. That's not bad.
I would have loved to have the draw here.
Oh, I see. Wait, this is only when it's pending.
I mean, I think it's pretty obvious that I have the draw. If I had draw, I would have just sent it on the first one. Yeah. Especially since it's monkey board.
And I'll like to activate Odd Eyes Unicorn.
Yep.
Then I would like to declare Pendulum Summon.
Go for it.
Pendulum Summoning Harmonizing Magician and Odd Eyes Synchron. Activating Harmonizing Magician to special summon out a Magician Pendulum monster from my deck.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I would like to summon out a White Wing Magician.
The
And I would like
white
to
woman.
overlay into a Time Star Magician. I would like to detach for cost. Time Star Magician effect. I would like to search into my hand a Dark Spellcaster monster from my deck.
Go for it.
I would like to add into my hand a Dark Spellcaster monster. This is actually kind of annoying. It's a tough choice. I mean, I can add this, and that can be used for stuff later. You know what? Yeah. I mean, I have this in hand. I have that there. Doesn't matter. Add. Adding double iris. There we go.
Yep.
And then I would like to activate the effect of Odd Eye Synchron to special summon out Monkey Board from my scale, and instantly synchro summoning using these two. So, and I would like to summon out Psyframe Lord Omega.
Yes, sir.
I would like to then opt to end my turn.
And draw. Standby.
In your standby phase, I would like to activate Psyframe Lord Omega.
Go for it.
To banish Omega and banish this.
This one, yeah. It is a magnet.
Okay.
Main one. I don't love it, but. Yeah, we'll still go for it. I will normal summon. Superheavy Samurai Battle Ball.
Okay.
Then I would like to equip said Battle Ball with Soul Piercer.
What does this do?
When it gets sent from the field, I get to Road Eye Super Heavy.
Okay. Tutors.
Yes, sir. And then I would like to use the effect of Battle Ball, sending it and the only valid target, so Joker. To summon out a 6. Oh yeah, let me. Yeah, okay. I just wanted to make sure it's not like send both to the graveyard, and if you do special summon, I would like because obviously.
Yeah, because that would be broken. That would make
be
this card
pretty
kind of
fucked up. I will summon out a Shooten Doji and destroy all spells and traps.
Okay. When On Eyes Unicorn gets destroyed, I would like to
how does
summon
that
out.
chain resolve? I think yeah, you summon first, and I search my thing with Soul Piercer.
If this is a mandatory effect, if this card is sent to the graveyard, yours activates first, and then I chain mine, so mine activates first. Resolves.
Yeah.
So yeah. I summon Astrograph, and I add to my hand a Odd Eyes Unicorn.
Yep. So it's Unicorn, double iris, and something. Then I will go search for a super heavy. Do I actually want?
Oh, I didn't realize it's a Pendulum monster card in your Monster Zone Pendulum Zone. I could have prevented that destruction. I didn't. I didn't. I realized. I thought it was a magician. Whatever.
Oh, for Astro?
For Time Star. Yeah, I could have prevented.
Oh yeah, Time Star. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize because I thought it was magician for some reason.
That's fair. That's fair. I mean, if you want to, you can still do it. I don't care.
I mean, I already summoned a card. I resolved.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I don't think at this point
actually,
it's too late.
Yeah.
You could have ashed this.
Actually, think. Would I rather actually do? It's 28. I think I would rather just grab you question mark. I'm so torn between two different things. What if actually? Yeah, we'll go for some prot. We'll go for Soulfire suit.
Mm-hmm.
Then. Sure. We will equip my Shuden Doji with a Soulbuster Gauntlet.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will go Battle Phase. In Battle Phase, I will swing over Time Star for 500. Yeah, 500. And yeah, I think that's all. Actually, this is 20. Yeah, that'll be all.
Alrighty then. Stand by. We get Omega back, and you get the thing back.
Yep, I will grab back my magnets.
Main phase 1. Now.
I've held off on playing Superheavy for so long because it was every time it was just so hard to basically without back row fulfill the like 50% requirement, and with like here Denko Sekka being a card that is playable, as well as like the Time Lords being there, and obviously they're fine to play. Because they're just something you're basically only using one card, and you only need them to make your not very impactful, but make your play for the turn. So those, alongside us finally having the hand trap rule, made it so that I could finally play this. Because I'm not interested in playing the later iteration, which is obviously just the FTG bullshit that Superheavy had in like 2024 or 2023. But I had wanted to play this goofy ass archetype for a long time, and finally the stars aligned.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, this set also doesn't have any good back row whatsoever.
Yeah, it's kind of
like, it has anti-spell fragrance, and it's only in the set to shit on
pendulums.
Pendulums, yeah, and it's like, wow, that's really cool. I think Denko Sekka is fine because Denko at least requires you to not have had anything, and I think in that regard it's like a healthy card for this. But that's why I asked for anti-spell fragrance not to be played in this. I asked the gentleman it out. But also, I'm not playing any spell traps either. I'm like outside of Black Garden. That's like the only thing that I'm playing. And even in that, the original iteration of the deck, when I was asking you before we started the set, should I play 46 or 40? Clean 40, no spells or traps whatsoever.
That's cool.
So the only two cards that I added were a Terraforming and a Black Garden, because I didn't really want to add 2 Black Gardens because I would have fucked up the ratio on the 2020.
Now I'm gonna start playing Devil's Advocate and be like, anti-spell fragrance is something that you said at the end of your combo, and you do the same thing for Black Garden, so they're kind of the same. But see, I don't want this to be 2 hours long, so I'm not gonna.
Black Garden, it enables both sides to have plays. Like, you can destroy the tokens to summon out things that you have in your graveyard. It's something that can be used for other plays as well. But yeah, and it's a fairly like unique card
Degenerate
and how it changed
and
the game.
annoying as fuck card.
Whereas anti-spell fragrance is a card that just goes like 1/3 of the cards in the game now do not function under the same rules as they have before, and you can't interact with this because the one card that you could use to really interact with this is a spell card. Fuck you.
All right. Let's play the game before I once again start ranting about. Oh yeah, let me shuffle my hand. You will be delighted to know it is a very samurai magnet.
Yes, of course. I should have seen this coming.
You know, it does make sense that the magnet keeps taking all your targeting.
Yeah, that is fair. That is fair. I'd like to add activate Odd Eyes Unicorn and activate Purple Poison Magician.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to declare Pendulum Summon.
Pendulum Summon is right.
Probably don't have a summon negation for this. So.
No, I don't have a hand solemn judgment, unfortunately.
That is quite unfortunate. I would like to summon out Odd Eyes Synchron. I would like to summon
I'm gonna
out...
be so happy when all of this pendulum bullshit is gone.
Dude, like...
It just
this
every
is exactly,
turn the same
so,
fucking shit. I'm so sick of it.
We haven't seen this thing be done, like specifically using the extra deck for this, because I've been mostly cycling my hand and using cards from my hand to summon stuff. This is the first time that an actual pendulum deck is doing the degenerate shit of I'm just gonna vomit my hand out, and I'm gonna vomit it out again, and I'm gonna do it again and again and again, and I'm gonna put a gun to my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Then I would like to summon out Odd Eyes Unicorn and a Skull Acrobat Joker. And then I would like to Synchro summon a level 9 with 3 materials, 2 non-tuner, and 1 tuner for a Trishula Dragon Ice Barrier to banish up to 1 card from each your hand, field, and graveyard. This does not target.
Yep, I'm thinking on the summon still. Yeah, okay. Yeah, this is fine.
Okay, then I would like to resolve the effect of Trishula.
Yep, let me shuffle one skin. Damn, you keep me making me shuffle my...
Yeah, it's... and 2, so middle one.
Yep, the Soulfire Sheet.
From the graveyard, do any of these have graveyard effects?
I don't think so.
I can only banish Soul Piercer and Battle Ball anyhow, so... I guess I'll just banish Battle Ball because it seems like it would be the thing that has any relevance to anything. And then, I would like to... Two. Double checking this one. It doesn't work here. I would like to... Wait. 1, 2. I'm still missing 1 if I do that. I'm still missing 1 if I do that. That doesn't work. It doesn't order because this is not a magician. So whatever. I would like to go into combat. Double checking. 1.8, 2.5. I would like to normal summon Double Iris Magician, as I have not normal summoned yet. Start swinging, or 1.5. Or 2.7. Or 1.8. And for 2.5.
And yeah, I mean, this was Coffin Baby versus Hydrogen Bomb. This deck obviously notoriously a meme deck before it got the modern support, and
which is originally when I heard about Superheavy Samurai being meta, I was scratching my head trying to visualize how
it's not because of anything that's Superheavy Samurai about it, basically. Just a few, like, cause that's the issue with stuff. Kind of bummed out about it, cause obviously, like, I think this is the only time we'll see this in any way. But at the
I have
same
another
time,
deck.
like,
We
this
can.
is a like 2013, 2012 at best. Like, this is a bad like early 2010s archetype, and we're in like midway of 2017, and I'm
I mean, I
playing
can.
against stuff like this.
Yeah. So the main reason why I wanted to do this was because I want to play the synchro cards that are in the set, which are very powerful, like hands down some of the strongest synchro cards that exist in the entire game, and alongside really good rank fours. And then as a option that existed, I was kind of trying to play around if you have something to destroy my stuff mid combat, for example. I was trying to find a way to make it so that I can actually summon out Zark in main phase 2 if you happen to somehow prevent me from pushing for good. But I have a second deck that we can play one game with if you're interested in that. It's far less potent than this. It's an infinitely weaker deck, I would say.
I mean, what are we at? We're at 37. We can do one game, sure.
Okay. I will
We
double
will
check that
do
it is actually
one game, because I think, like, for the Xyz. Oh yeah, let me actually side out
I
of
need to.
the thingamajiggies, because I had all of the like Time Lord stuff in. So let me pause the recording for just a second. All right, and I was saying, I think like we've done one, sometimes an extra set, sometimes anything, sometimes some extra games for a lot of the, if not literally every single one of the eras that we've done thus far. So I guess even the garbage that is the Pendulum era deserves at least an extra game.
Hell yeah. I mean, we had one last week as well, technically, where we were,
Yeah.
in a similar position. I would like to start off
I mean, I'll
by
just try to
firing
get one of
off.
my Pendulum cards actually on the board, you know?
Yeah. I would like to activate Solar Recharge to discard a Lightsworn monster from my hand, to draw 2 and middle 2. Is this okay?
That is fine. Is it actually just pure Lightsworn? That's kind of heat, if that's the case.
That's why I was like, yep, this is...
If we're setting Raikou in the Year of our Lord and Savior,
Motherfucker, I literally just went like, this deck can't do shit. Like,
I'm gonna get turned. Anyways, I'm like, I mean, what else would you fucking set here than Raikou? Like, I'll be honest.
Are you gonna kaiju my Raikou or something?
No, trust me, I was looking, but there were no ways to get literally any kaijus. I was like, some of them have like Doguran is like the flame raging kaiju, so like flame is pretty common, but no, unfortunately, there are no kaijus I could find.
I think kaiju specifically having so many words in their name, but usually those names are like sea, flaming, raging, stuff like this, so they don't appear on a lot of cards. So.
And Normal Summon Fist.
Yeah.
Equip it with Soul Piercer, because I am so confident this is Raikou. I'm gonna swing into this.
Well. Would you look at that?
Well, no, here's the interesting thing. You can just pop my back row, in which case I don't get the search.
That's a good point. It's a very good point. I would like to pop your back row in mill 3. I wanted to bring up a point that I had. What the fuck? Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah, also take 800 piercing, bastard.
800. Raikou dies, and when Raikou dies, I would like to activate from my hand.
You need to be killed
to add into my hand. Raikou, not this Raikou, the one from my deck. The one from my deck. And I'm going to add a copy of Raikou, the Lightsworn Hunter, to my hand.
Siri, how many sorcerer names are there in Yu-Gi-Oh?
So the problem isn't Astrograph Sorcerer having Sorcerer in its name. It's the fact that it supports Pendulum, XYZ, Synchro, and Fusion. which means it's a part of the archetypes of Pendulum, XYZ, Synchro, and Fusion. And in the future, when we get Dragon as an archetype or a word that is allowed, like as an archetypal thing, blah blah blah. I don't know how you're gonna handle that. This thing needs to be claused out somehow.
Yeah, to celebrate the end of the Pendulum era, I would like to introduce another, because thus far, like we have a cards as remnants from, you know, different sorts of eras. There's the numbers are usually there, but from XYZ obviously being very splashable. The Shockmaster joins are like evergreen pool of band cards to represent the XYZs. Then there is Plague Spreader Zombie to represent Synchro. There is a generic card. Same thing with Polymerization. There's some of the good ones. So
what if we
make your
introduce
proposition
new
before
tier?
I kill this card? Basically, plead your case.
Limit it to 1. Put it to 1. Make it similar to Soul Charge, but you're only allowed to play a single copy of it, which means that it's not as degenerate, which the modern game also agrees. This card is a degenerate piece of shit, so it's at 1, and it's been at 1.
But the issue is the modern game is 2025. We're going to be playing 2018, 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! With Astrograph Sorcerer.
With Pendulum and XYZ and Synchro and Fusion being the things that are required for this.
Yeah, that's really fucking hard.
I wonder how many cards there are that actually have Fusion in their name.
I'll be real. This is the last time we'll see Astrograph Sorcerer.
The wrong card got shot.
I'll be real.
Damn. Until
it supports too many things. This is going to be the swan song of Astrograph Sorcerer. After this, we will say goodbye to Astrograph Sorcerer, and it is joining the ban list of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Progressive series.
I can't believe my set Raiko military.
That's not the issue. Was here. I was thinking like we're gonna play fucking fuck ass 2012 Yu-Gi-Oh! With Lightsworn and Superheavy Samurai to end off the Pendulum era, and this fuck ass card rears its ugly face. For real though,
it's never gonna leave.
The thing is, I don't think this does anything interesting for any deck in the future, and I'd rather just not deal with it, because it's gonna... The stuff is... It's supporting stuff that has Dragon in its name.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna start ruling stuff out because of one fuck-ass card that is not gonna do anything interesting anyway, so I would just rather kill it. So, Astrograph Sorcerer, yours the ban list.
With this card, the Dragon Rulers are like insane. You just play 3 of this in your Dragon Rulers, and you have a card that just infinitely summons itself out and lets you search for more Dragon Rulers when they die. Imagine it.
It is not cool. The card is not cool, and now it's on the ban list.
No, I can't believe
it. Enjoy! This is the last time you get to play it, so enjoy it to the fullest.
I already did, darn.
I
got two sets out of this. This is the fastest we've had a card, by the way. That's a fucking speed run.
To be fair, this is also, I think, like, we have some bans on the cards that aren't even banned, but like, to be fair, like, this has been on the list in many different forms for a long ass fucking while. How long was it banned for?
It was banned for 4 years. From
I was gonna say, like, it was many years. And
in
after
the
that,
OCG, it's never been banned. It's always been limited.
Yeah, and they have Maxia 3. What's your point?
Which is like, it's insane. And they don't have Maxia yet, do they? I'm pretty sure they limited Maxia recently. Where's that?
After fucking 20 years, it's now
it's
at
a 2.
2.
Yeah, it's a 2.
That's awesome.
We stay winning. It's because
when I'm on my deathbed, it's gonna join the limited list. But yeah, you added Raiko with Astrograph.
Yeah. 4 in 2017. It was semi-limited for 2 months in the OCG. I don't know why the fuck you would just do it for 2 months, but hey, you do you, OCG.
Anyways, can we move on? Yeah. I'll just go main 2, I'll go end phase and end my turn.
Alright then, I would like to activate Charge of the Light Brigade to mill 3. which is a cost. And now I'd like to add a level 4 or lower Lightsworn monster from my deck to my hand.
I know Raiko. I don't know anything else. I do still think I will ash this.
Damn.
I wish I had this last turn for because I think like I'd rather do it on Solar, but I think after that it's still a pretty good one.
Fair, yeah.
Wait, how come you're not just drawing all your 3 wolves?
Wait, no, I don't get wolf from this. No, I do. It's not from card effect. Good.
It just if it's sent by any means.
Dude, this fucking I'm just gonna show this. This fucking thing.
Oh
like,
yeah.
Why the fuck does it need to be
it's
monster?
So specific. It's doo-doo, but the fact that you're I'll be honest, the fact that you're even playing that is pretty funny. I think it's kind of
I'm playing pure Lightsworn, and it's a tuner that can kill cards on board. It's pretty good for what I'm doing. Anywho, we're gonna go in combat. We're gonna swing over this motherfucker. And we're gonna swing over this motherfucker.
It is dead the first time.
Okay. I was thinking you had like a
some
kind of protection on it.
No, it was just dueling book buffer.
Then I set one and pass.
I can't believe this is all gonna end with the same doo-doo as just because of this Astrograph Sorcerer. I just die in 2 turns because it's also a free 2500 body. Man.
That's gonna be fucked up, man. This is what I meant when I said I like this deck. This is pure Lightsworn with hand traps and dark holes and different dimension ground to get me into not even different dimension ground. Something else was in there that got me D barrier. Wait, what is it? Oh, ice barrier. Yeah. Trish got me that.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna summon Flutist, tribute Flutist, a special out Benkei.
Holy shit, bro is banking it up.
Yeah. Big ass Benkei. Well, it's not long for this world is the issue, but would I rather get rid of the Lightsworn name, or I think I'll just kill the biggest thing, so I'll swing over this 400. 1,000.
1,000, yeah.
I mean,
and it'll never come back. It's locked out now forever.
Yippee.
In baby jail.
It only fucking killed my bitch ass and get you another Raiko.
Hell.
Man.
I was legit thinking that if the Raiko wouldn't die, I would just kill the Raiko with the Raiko's own effect. That's why I would get another.
That's really funny. Flip summon a Raiko to kill itself.
Yeah. Me when get a second copy for
my dog when it gets the same food for the 10th week in a row. It's like fuck this, bro.
Man, dogs be eating better than I am, man.
I genuinely mean this when I say that my family dog genuinely eats better than me. You fool! You should have read my cards. When you're targeting my Big Benkei, I banish Superheavy Samurai Flutist from my graveyard to destroy your Raiko and negate the activation of... Oh yeah, wait, it's negate the activation so you don't even get to send the things.
I don't even mill. Wait, that doesn't target. You can destroy one card on the field. Yeah, that doesn't target. Yeah. So, okay, I'm gonna go on a fucking rant about Raiko real quick. This fucking thing.
I have
this piece of fucking thing. So, this card has had like 17 different erratas. And in every other errata, it's like you mill 3, and then you target a card, and then you destroy it on resolution. Or it's you mill 3, then you destroy a card. Or it's you destroy a card, and then you mill 3. Or it's you target a card, you destroy it, and then you mill 3. But now it's you destroy a card and mill 3 at the same time. This is the dumbest fucking card in terms of how many times it's been errated. Like, it hasn't done anything outside of making it difficult to ascertain when this card is actually targeting. And the modern version does not target. But there are iterations that do target, and I hate this game for this. Anyhow.
Wait, my bit doesn't work. Fuck.
What's up?
Sorry, I was trying to do a bit, but I forgot about everything. Resolution. So. Yeah, no, I'm just protecting. It can't be destroyed by battle or card effect for the rest of the turn, but it loses H100.
Alright, then I'll summon out Phallus, because it was sent there by a card effect. And then I would like to summon out. This sucks. Oh. I have a normal summon, right?
I don't think so, no? Yeah, no, you
Yeah, I
haven't.
just flipped right. Yeah. I'll normal summon Ghost Ogre and Synchro for Trish.
That's a really cool.
Oh, that's not even an. That's no, yeah.
I mean, the game is just over.
That's over.
We'll stop there because none of my one card draw did in it. Yeah, like this is a meme deck. Like you can see,
Yeah.
obviously, Super Heavy Samurai. It's a meme deck. It can't do anything. It's a playground. It's a playground power level deck. But
We had
I wanted to have some fun for because obviously I don't like Pendulum. I think it's just such a dog shit summoning mechanic. And here it just like, all right, I'm gonna summon my big dumb idiots, and I had 2 copies of both of these just to maybe do some Pendulum stuff. But apart from that, it was just putting the good Super Heavy Samurai stuff, and the good Super Heavy Samurai stuff means that on a single turn I might summon out 2 synchros, and that's my power play. And also I had one of this. Getting into it is pretty hard.
Creature.
Apart from magnets.
Oh yeah. But yeah, like, I mean, it's light sworn. That's. Yep. I have nothing to say about this deck.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, it's good stuff light sworn with most of the good stuff just being from the extra.
yeah.
With level 8 synchros that are really easy to access and
We've seen
some level 9s.
We've seen Lightsworn plenty of times already. I even played it in, I think the last anniversary episode. Actually, was it the last? I have played it in an anniversary episode. We've seen it played multiple times, but yeah, like Super Heavy Samurai, it turns into a degenerate FTK, then Scarecrow gets pinned, and then it's back to being a deck that nobody cares about. And before that, it was I think like this is the equivalent of a like Timmy Playground Yu-Gi-Oh style deck, which is like it does very simple plays. It's like, all right, you have basically usually your turn is gonna be like, all right, you summon a couple guys and you use them to make an extra dead dude that maybe pops something, and the gimmick is that they can attack when they're in defense position, and that's the neat thing there. But unfortunately, it just for this time being, and even like early on when it like before the FTK, Super Heavy Samurai was just a meme, and unfortunately, you could see here like in both of these, like it's Hydrogen Bomb versus Coffin Baby. Unfortunately,
Even against like arguably a deck from something that should be of a similar time, like Lightsworn around the time when the structure came out, with the only thing here that is actually like a really modern card being Astrograph, obviously. Even in this matchup, it's just you don't really have much of a chance. To be fair, the chips landed in my on my court or in my court. I got Felis and Wolf for free, and that was a really big deal.
yeah,
I'm like in hindsight, I'm wondering if it would have been better to swing over the Wolf solely because of the fact that it limits my synchro plays.
I was literally thinking, but it doesn't matter because I mean I can. What would I even have drawn? This I can set up my next turns, but what would the 3 be? It's okay. Yeah, none of this stuff does anything. I have a way to summon this thing, but that's it. And then after that, I'm stuck with my hand traps and a Benkei I cannot summon. And 3 turns later, assuming you have things, then I get to go into Exiton. So yeah.
I think if you had killed the wolf first, assuming the astrograph stays on board, I can't do really much with that because I would need a lower level synchro tuner for that. So the astrograph is just gonna stay there. So if I can get rid of the Benkei, which I think I can because I had a Raiko and a Felis, so I could make Brio and discard one and then bounce it. So I don't think at the end of the day it would have mattered much, if at all. So.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Brio.
I tried, but
You tried. A
I'm
valiant effort.
I'm just happy that Astrograph is gone and we're out of Pendulum era, because I
Honestly,
think I think even like objectively speaking, I think Pendulum summoning is just without the like later match rules. I think with the limitations that it has today in the modern era Yu-Gi-Oh, I think it's fine. But I think in its original era, Pendulum summoning is just by far the wackest summoning mechanic, because there's no limitations to it, and it's literally like you have infinite recursion always at all times, while
it
also
essentially
access to insane
ignores.
swarming.
Yeah, it ignores the core tenet of Yu-Gi-Oh, where it is that when you play a card, you played the card essentially. Like you lost a card from your hand. You're -1, and pendulums themselves just exist to invalidate that concept. Where the cards that you're playing, first off, you can just summon them for free, and then you can summon them for free next turn as long as you didn't get disrupted. And the disruption that you need to be using against these cards isn't the same as you need to be using against monsters. You need to disrupt their scales to actually have a decent chance of beating them. Which leads into a situation where if you're not playing spell trap removal in your main deck, which at this time people were still running like Twin Twisters in their main deck, because Twin Twisters was a good card against these, but we don't have Twin Twisters, so it's completely moot in that regard.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be able to even run Twin Twisters in this deck. You had Shoot and Doji, which we saw. That was arguably a really good choice to like actually try to pop my scales. The problem is that, again, this fucking thing invalidated that play, invalidated the destruction of my scale. And even beyond that, I had Time Star there, but still.
The big
Like,
issue.
this thing is disgusting.
Yeah, the big issue is also like, even if we think of like the like magical miracle land, miracle fairy land, where I get to like some of my extra deck stuff, obviously because of the set like didn't really have a back row. It's like, oh yeah, you have your dumbfuck beaters, but like that's 2010, the beater stuff. But the other stuff like shooting doji is the best one because it's easily accessible. It just basically equalizes the playing field. But like because of the set not having basically any back row that actually matters, like the big bosses like Sarutobi, Susanoo, or even like Train King, they don't do anything. They're just big. They're basically like, all right, I'm making essentially the equivalent of Benkei, because if you don't have spell traps in your grave that I actually want to use, then also these cards do absolutely nothing. So it's like, it's hard to get anything done. Everything is super resource intensive, and when you get to the big things, the payoff is negligible. So there's not really anything going on other than, but I'd argue is a relatively neat theme. Obviously being like essentially sumo robots using their big butts to battle.
Yeah, and they're all named after Japanese, like not purely mythological, but largely mythological Japanese folklore characters, like Shuten Doji Benkei. I think Ushiwaka Maru is also in there somewhere. No, actually, Ushiwaka doesn't exist. Is it Taira? No, they don't have it.
You might
either.
be thinking of some of the like newer support as well, because like they follow like the theming is largely similar there.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Musashi now. Hell yeah.
But yeah, that's gonna do it for us. This is normally where there's such a performance that doesn't do anything with a deck that I've been like itching to play for a long time. This is usually where I'd say like, I'll maybe play it in an anniversary episode, but given that that's still a long ways away, this deck is not gonna do anything. That's basically the same as me coming into normal summon 2 monsters and then ending it here. So I unfortunately don't think the FCK isn't interesting, and I have absolutely no interest in doing anything with it. So unfortunately, I don't think we will ever see a super heavy samurai in any shape or form anymore, unless rank 10 Digimon makes a comeback to Yu-Gi-Oh! Makes a archetype of the worthless super heavy samurai video. So that's awesome. If you know, you know. But with all that being said, though, thank you to all of y'all for sticking with us through the Pendulum era. Good riddance, I will say. XYZ Banger era Synchro, Banger era Jeexx, obviously the nostalgia era, Duel Monsters, even like the original. It had its times. Pendulum era, neat archetypes, but holy fuck, Master Rule 3 is ass.
Yeah, so as I've mentioned this a few times, this is the era of Yu-Gi-Oh where I was playing the most, right? And this is the era that I have the arguably most nostalgia because it's the time when people were actually playing at the LGS, like playing Yu-Gi-Oh at the local game store. And that's where a lot of folks were playing stuff like Superheavy Samurai, Pendulum Magician, Odd Eyes. Like everybody had some deck that they were working on, some pet deck that they were working on, and then in comes like the Link right after, and people just start like playing shit that is just infinitely more frustrating to deal with. Stuff like Altergeist, obviously, and people were splashing in more generic like non-engine because that was becoming more and more common. Rather than having spells or traps that did a thing, now you had like pranker tops coming in and being like, "Yeah, I'm just a generic pop. Fuck you." Or people getting access to Ash Blossom because they happened to pull like 2 copies of Ash Blossom from a tin, and it just slowly changed from being something where people were just playing with funny little haha meme decks into people actually trying to build decks that could win, which sounds like strange, but it's like the mentality of the player base at the local game store slowly shifted over the course of the Pendulum era leading into the Link era, making it a lot less desirable for me personally to be playing the game. So I have a lot of nostalgia specifically because of it's kind of similar to the Commander discussion that we had before, right? For me, this era of Yu-Gi-Oh is that time when people were just fucking about
I think
and
that
having a good time.
I think that like we'll keep this brief, but I think that applies to most things these days. Like if you think about, well, I think like games are a really easy example. If you think of any game, like you can find, for like 24 hours from a game release, you can probably go on TikTok or YouTube and find some dude who's or lady or anything in between that has broken something about the new game, and it's like, this is the most broken build you should be using in this new video game. Everything gets optimized so quickly, and I do think also the mentality is shifting where people are just leaning towards the more optimal stuff instead of like, hey, I feel like having fun with this stuff, which also I think like creativity in a lot of things has also like suffered as a result. If the first thing that comes to mind is just like stuff like Blitz and OP.gg or anything else, where it's like basically it's good in a way because like for something like League, for example, because the recommended items a travesty. I don't know how it these days, I'll be honest, because I've never used it, because the times when I would have needed it, it was horse ass. So I've never ended up using it. I don't know if they made it better, but like it helps people get into it in an easier way. But at the same time, if everything turns into I'm gonna look at a guide for this, and that, then I feel like it dulls down the experience in a lot of ways for a lot of people. But
It's unfortunate, I'm gonna be honest.
but whatever makes people happy. If you're happy playing that way, then that's awesome. If you're not happy playing that way, then don't be afraid to do your own thing. As we are not afraid to do our own thing and ban Astrograph Sorcerer if we feel like it, because that's the beauty of this series.
Yeah,
On a moment's notice, I can just snap my fingers and a card is gone forever. Power is scary.
Yay!
Power is scary.
Me when I say we, when I mean me.
It's us when it's convenient for me. You should know this by now.
Me when I throw my co-host under the bus for things that I chose to do. Man,
Anything
anyhow.
for the dub. Anything for the dub. But no for reals.
Pin play Chronograph Sorcerer next.
Go for it. I mean,
I think Chronograph is a lot less toxic because it's a lot like different in its actual function, where it's more of an extender rather than like not a generic combo piece, but like a consistency booster or a way of actually stalling the game out. And it's a lot smaller. It's 2K. You can swing over with Wolf.
Yeah, and like the thing is, let's just say that 2017, the difference between something getting you stuff from the deck, and something getting you stuff from your hand to the field. It's quite a big difference.
Yep, it's quite massive. But I think chronograph itself is like,
It's not bad.
This is something that we can keep. I think because that means that we also have access to Zark in these kinds of situations, which I think is itself kind of an interesting way of maintaining Zark as an option in the future, where Astrograph might have been shot and we don't really have a chance to play all of them at the same time anymore. So chronograph can be used to kind of bridge the gap of having to fuse together like actual odd eyes or whatever.
And if we don't, we got to see Zark.
Twice.
Yeah. We did not get to see Superheavy Samurai Steam Drain King hit the field. So,
Yep.
Unfortunately, sometimes the cool big boss monsters don't get to hit the field. And that's just how it goes. Yeah. But hey, one final thing, like, you're, if anything, like, the ball is in your court and most, I guess, no, that's not the same. Where the ball would be in my court in most of these cases, but you only have to gain because most of the time, like at this point, like when bans happen, it's stuff like, I mean, we have Gentleman on a lot of stuff, but like apart from that, it's usually you pull off some degenerate shit that I don't like, so I ban it, and like now I look like the asshole because this guy did something cool and I didn't like the cool thing, so I banned it. So I'm the asshole in every one of these scenarios.
Ain't nobody rocking up into these videos being like, wow, this Jeexx guy is doing some cool shit. They're all rocking up into this video looking at me summon Astrograph Sorcerer in my pure light sword. I'd be like, this motherfucker. This piece of fucking shit. What do you mean you're playing Astrograph in your fucking pure light sword?
As much as I would hope that to be the case, I don't think it is. But regardless, I'm a big baby, and I don't like Astrograph, so it's gone, and I can accept that. Black Garden is next. Next time it shows up, then...
I was so trying. I actually put it in here, because I was like, I can maybe get another card shot for the link before the linker.
You did! Not just the one that you were going for. But no, I think, like...
Astrograph would have survived if I hadn't asked for a third game.
The thing... Yeah, that's funny, too. The thing also... I mean, that's the thing, because it's like... my expectations going into it are like, alright, we're gonna play two... Basically... Well, I mean, Lightfun is not a playground deck, but it's like, it's definitely not fucking Magician Turbo... Magician Pepe, basically. But, it's just the fact that the expectations... Like, afterwards, it's like, alright, I said 2 back row, I said Raikou. That's the third one. Next turn, yep. Alright, and here comes fucking Astrograph, so he says, like, brother. Like, basically, when they say, like, read the room, it's like, you're rocking up to a, like, someone's funeral and you're blasting the saxophone. Like, yeah, you played really well, not the time right now. Yeah. I explained that really poorly. Also, I had some other thought that oh yeah, Black Garden. My only issue with Black Garden is the fact that you can do, as with most floodgates, is the thing, you can do your shit and then set it up. And that's what I don't like. And that's my main issue with every single one of those floodgates. Because if they're equal, if they equally affect both boards, and both players, where's the issue? And the issue is there because it starts affecting both players after you're already in a winning position. And that's just what I don't like about it. That's my only issue there.
What you're saying is Mystic Mine is okay.
It is the worst card ever printed. And I think it's I'm still considering this. This is one thing which I've been thinking is like, it's not, the name is in a way where it doesn't come up often, but I'm literally considering, do I even let it see the light of day in its debut set? I think the answer is going to be yes. I don't think so. I think the answer is going to be yes. We can suffer for that one set, but because it would, I don't know. The idea of the show being basically to show different eras of Yu-Gi-Oh, but obviously from a very different perspective, I do still think that ultimately I would feel weird about such an impactful card not even getting to see the time of day. But I will say, the chances of it seeing more than one episode are 0. Like, absolutely 0. there's a good chance that you will see it for that one episode. The chances of it seeing the light of day for anything more than that one set, it's 0. I can tell you that right away. There's no chance. But regardless, this has been the Tyrant preaching, and yeah, Pendulum era officially. Put a check mark on that bitch, and we're done. Anything you want to say to the great people before we get out of here?
I have a dream that one day we'll all be able to play Astrograph Sorcerer however many times we want per turn, playing any kind of jank deck that we want forever, and nobody can stop us. Not Konami, not Weebfox. Stand up for your rights. Vote for me to become the next Tyrant.
Dude.
I think
This clip will be titled Jeexx equates the ban of Astrograph Sorcerer to slavery. That's gonna be the title of the clip.
I'm not implying that. I'm implying that
I'm not. Yeah.
We as gamers are being oppressed, guys. You do not understand. Weebfox is not a gamer. He does not understand what we're going through, guys.
We thus end the Pendulum era as me. I'm gonna say it. I'm sorry, no. I'm not gonna say it. Because I don't know if YouTube would like it in any sort of way, so I'm not gonna say it. You can let your imagination run rampart, but regardless, we're done plowing these fields, and we will move on to greener grass next week with the combination of the, I want to say they're the last 2 starter decks Konami has ever made. There might have been one more product, but maybe
there's the 2-player starters.
Oh yeah, that one. So the only 2 other starter decks that they've done once again are the at the start of the Link era, and then the one that they made like a year later. They've done this, I'm not sure if every single time, but they did definitely do this for XYZ, and we did also do that back then, where we combined the 2 decks, because like just the very first starter deck, it's so bland and boring, and then like way later on, like we don't want to then a year's life cycle later do a starter deck episode where we're both playing the same starter deck, because that would be really boring. So instead we're going to do the same thing. So I don't remember them on the top of my head, but I will tell you Jeexx right after this what they were called, because I do have the names of all the sets set out for years to come. Not years, but for a long time, because it's easier for me to en masse check those things whenever I have time. So I haven't done that, so we'll check those. But regardless, next time will be the dawn of Link era, and already we will. We've said this before. We will start with Master Rule 4. We will move on to Master Rule 5 and start playing according to Master Rule 5 sooner than it actually happened in the game's life cycle. But we will still be sticking in Master Rule 4 for a little while to showcase how it played initially. And because of that, we also have like a few rule changes that will happen accordingly when time is right. But for now, all you need to know is next week it's going to be the dawn of the Link era with the first 2 starter decks combined as our decks. So I know I think I've at this point said it at least 2 times, like your final thing to say, but send us off into the linker, and what do you think of us getting into the linker finally? And for me, this has been a long yapping, and I was going to say something about Astrograph's ban, but I don't whatever. It's whatever. I think it doesn't serve any cool purpose. I think the ban is validated. If you disagree with me, honestly, dislike the video, because, you know, that's fair.
Vote with the tools that you have, guys.
Exactly.
Fight for your rights.
But don't say bad words in the comments, because otherwise you will get shadow banned like Jeexx did.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that
Don't
sounds
say that you feel bad
actually, let,
for the person
I
that runs
think
the channel losing,
I
and
think
then he suddenly calls you the
no,
Antichrist.
no, we're not gonna say it out loud which words Jeexx use. All you need to do is YouTube literally hit his comment because of he using like such bad words in the comment. Use your imagination to
Yeah,
figure out what those words were.
go watch last week's Digimon progression journey,
Thanks for the plug.
guys. Go watch the Digimon Learning Journey progression series, the journey through BT5 or whatever, and see the timestamp that is probably gonna be very, very clear to you guys when it's happening. Just post it in the comments. Timestamp that shit and be like, "This is what Jeexx got shadow banned for. This is what he typed."
So the linker, any thoughts on that?
So the link area is something that I didn't expect us to eventually reach. I,
That's
I
honestly fair. It is.
like,
I didn't even think of it. It's fucking crazy that we're
yeah,
basically entering the era of almost modern Yu-Gi-Oh. When we started this
yeah,
literally from fucking Legend of Blue Eyes.
2 years ago, like soon to be 2.5.
It's kind of crazy.
It's insane. Yeah, it's in, like this is probably outside of me streaming weekly, right?
Yeah.
This is probably the longest project I have participated on a weekly basis.
Hell yeah. I'm happy to be that.
Rating actually.
I'm happy to
Probably
hear
be that.
that. And honestly, with all the salt that I exceed, that's the last there. Exceed, yeah, in a lot of these episodes with my subpar Yu-Gi-Oh, as well as deck building skills. I still find this very enjoyable and a lot of fun to do this with you every single week. So I do appreciate you sticking for all of this time, and I'm happy to see what kind of stuff we can cook up in the liquor.
Yeah. I believe the link era will be by far the strangest in terms of how things are going to go, because we will be having so much access to generic support cards now, and like from legacy, and also from just having stuff be legacied in, not legacied in, through the rule changes. For example, I was actually workshopping a deck where I was just playing DDD with 20 cards being DDD, with my side deck being the remaining cards, and then I had 20 cards that were hand traps and other filler.
Yeah.
And that was one of the decks I was intending to play for this episode, but I decided against it, choosing to rather play what I felt like would be a more interesting deck to play against.
Basically
DD's
showcasing
combo.
the Jeexx combo video while the other
Yeah.
guy is eating glue.
Yeah, and that's why I think that's why the Pendulum Magician deck I would say is more interesting to play against, because it's not a pure combo deck. It's a like versatile control deck.
Yeah, I mean, in this way, it was kind of like whatever. It's basically like, all right, uh, I'm out here playing normal summon a breaker and sets to relatively strong trap cards in the back row levels of power. So,
Yeah.
but this has been an extremely long after yap. You know, basically another podcast as we had. I mean, it's still not nowhere close. I think the last one was like 40 minutes of our card game. Yeps. But we did want to acknowledge the fact that we are entering the like final summoning mechanic, at least for now. If you're watching this in 2045, maybe their Yu-Gi-Oh has added breath summoning and the cards are yellow border and there's you I can't even,
Yellow.
I,
Yellow, huh?
I don't know. There
I mean,
the counterfeit
speed summoning.
if you ever that just sounds like it would be in Rush Duel. But like
I mean, that is.
yeah, yellow cards were if you ever did you ever buy like any counterfeit Yu-Gi-Oh cards from anywhere?
No.
Okay, because I like my as a kid, like when my parents would take me like abroad, like for example in Spain, like the marketplace would be filled to the brim with like people selling Yu-Gi-Oh cards, and only when I grew up and I realized, damn, that's kind of weird how these cards are just like bright yellow. They were not actual Yu-Gi-Oh cards; they were just like counterfeit Yu-Gi-Oh cards. So maybe they finally make that reality, and then like retroactively my counterfeit Yu-Gi-Oh cards are now actually the new summoning mechanic. yeah, that I think that's a good idea.
That would be very interesting to see.
Shout
I'm
out
not gonna.
Shout out Judge Man for being one of the new summoning mechanic cards in 2045. But yeah, we'll get out of here. Thank you so very much, like we said, for sticking with us for over 2 years. If you've been here since day one, welcome to the On Club. Timed out due to inactivity. That's a perfect way to end the video. We're gonna get out of here. Thanks for watching. We'll see you for the linker next week. Enjoy the great rest of your day. Actually, that is an actual sentence. Enjoy the great rest of your day, and we'll see you then. Peace.